as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Cortez!
1862 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collinwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Hi, welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again, and I've got a Villa fan with us, and it's Foggy. Big up to you, Stephen.
Hey, John, thanks for having me on.
Oh, Simon.
It's all right.
Fantastic.
Get it all the time. Villa used to have a player called Stephen Froggatt, so I get that all the time.
Oh no, I mean, he used to play for the Villa, didn't he? He used to play for Villa and Wolves, by the way. He wasn't a bad left back, by the way, as well. He was a cracking left back, by the way. I quite like him.
Decent.
And he's a bit. Go on. Sorry.
No, he was decent. It's good. It's good to be on. I've done two. This is the second one of these I've done today, and it's really enjoyable to, especially to get the other team's view and stuff like that. So no, I've been looking forward to this today. Yeah,
absolutely, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we'd be looking forward to this game as well because I wouldn't say it's Ivy, but it seems to me that excuse me, our fans don't particularly like Villa because the way they got us relegated, saying that sort of the time, and it just lined up as well. We got this guy on the website as well. Love to wind the Newcastle United fans up as well, saying that they'd love to get Eddie Howe as manager, but we've got to talk about it later on. So we're going to talk about your team, Emery. And look, I mean, let's talk about your team, by the way. I mean, Villa, they're not exactly having a brilliant start, are they, to the season? Let's be real. Stevie G's been sacked. And you've done 175 million quid in the transfer market under his leadership, and it hasn't worked out. I mean, in fact, he spent 175 mil, but he hasn't bought on a striker because you've got Ollie Watkins there. You've got Leon Bailey and Danny Ings as well. I mean, why are they not functioning? Yes, okay, you beat Brentford the other week. I mean, why have they decided they're going to step up and say, right, you know what? We're going to play. You know what I mean? Has Stevie G lost the playing Justin Rimsel?
Yeah, I think he had. I mean, the fairly simple answer to why the strikers weren't playing is that Danny Ings is a number 9, right? So, but he was playing him wide left, if at all. Now, strikers need to play games to get rhythm, to get match fitness, and everywhere he's gone, he's scored goals. And it just seems to be ridiculous to us as Villa fans to think we can't score a goal. If only we had a guy who's got a proven track record of scoring goals. Oh, hang on, we've got one of them on the bench, but he doesn't play him. Ollie Watkins, he'll work the channels for you. He's as honest as the day is long, but he needs 3 or 4 chances to score a goal. And even on Sunday against Brentford, the 4th goal, he needed 3 stabs at it. But you'd have him in your team. You'd have him in your team all day long. I mean, I'm sure we'll come on to him. A little bit like Almiron. The fans love Watkins, but there's a reason why he's playing for Aston Villa. If he was any good, he'd be somewhere else now. And Gerrard's tactics were very, very slow build-up. He wanted to get the fullbacks involved. He bought Digne in. He's got Cash in, who are both attacking fullbacks, but he wouldn't let them go forward. And we just kept going side to side to side to side, and we were the easiest team to defend against in the league. That's why we didn't score any goals.
That's your problem. And the thing is as well, I expected a lot more from Stevie G and his management as well, because this is this big statement to come in and sell out a statement, right, to say that he's going to get Villa a great team as well. Give a couple, 2-3 year project to get you still into the top 6, top 8. But I don't know why. In Villa, I've got some good players there. I like Danny Ings. I think Danny Ings is a good player. I really do like him. Ollie Watkins, I like him as well. Buendia as well. He's quite skillful as well. And he's got a lovely shot on him as well, by the way. You paid a lot of money for this guy, Buendia, for Norwich, 33 million quid. I think Norwich must have been looking at, you know what I mean? Is he worth 33 million quid? Argentina international. Foggy. Oh, Foggy is gone. Foggy is gone, by the way, so he'll be back soon. So don't know what's happened there. Be contact. If anyone wants to know where Tony is, he's on his way soon, but he's got stuck in traffic. But once he's here, I'll get him in straight away. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, hit the like button. Also, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to have a super chat, then click on the $sign and give what the channel's worth. And if you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. So let's go on to the comments. Evening, John. Evening, Simon. Hope you're well. And evening to Alan. Evening to I Like Coffee. And evening to Tiger. You're going to Battle Villa. Nowhere near our level. Excuse me. Gonna have to kind of agree there. And Watkins says, shite. The best striker is Ings. Would take him at Newcastle. He's injury prone though, Tiger. That is the thing. Because for me, I mean, it'd be some player, but unfortunately, that I don't think we're going to need Watkins as well. Do you know what I mean? He's quite inconsistent of late, and he misses a lot of chances. He'll be no good to us as well. Let's hope to get Foggy back on soon. He's having problems with internet, and let's hope he comes back on very, very soon. I do apologise, people. Bailey, I'd take as well. The rest of the squad is crap. Excuse me. He's there. Foggy.
Sorry, John. Wi-Fi went then. Sorry, mate. Wi-Fi went.
Oh, sad. That's fine. I was just reading out the comments while you're away. I mean, there's a couple in there, right? I mean, Tiger said that he'll take Bailey, but the rest of the squad is not great. But the thing is with on Bailey, right? If he was injury free, I think this guy would be fantastic. He's got the pace, he's got skill. I liked him when he's at Leverkusen, by the way. He's scoring goals for fun. He's quick. I think it's amazing, but it just hasn't quite happened for him yet because he's quite injury prone. And when you're injury prone, like Bailey, like Ings, then there's a problem. And I think Stevie G wanted his own striker, but he spent 175 million quid. And if my memory serves us correctly, it hasn't brought in a striker in. I just don't understand.
Yeah, well, he spent a lot of money on, well, certainly Coutinho. He bought in Diego Carlos at the start of the year. I think we all knew we needed a really dominating centre half. In the same way that you guys did. Unfortunately, he snapped his Achilles in the second game, which he's missed 9 minutes of football in 7 years. He plays for us 2 minutes, then he snaps his Achilles. And he's a
Oh, he's gone again. Oh, man. I mean, Foggy is off again. He needs to come back in, and I need to get back in again. But he's gone. What's going on? If you put my internet, he's back again. So you went off. You did have to start again. I know he snapped his ligaments there. I've got that bit.
Yeah, snapped his Achilles tendon. Then we bought in Kamara from Marseille, who looks a really good player. He's done his knee ligaments. He might be back just before the World Cup. And Digne went to France and snapped a bone in his ankle. So you could argue that his 3 key signings all got injured, all at the same time. And obviously the big one for him, he put a lot of faith in Coutinho that I would like to say has let him down. I think that's a bit unfair. I think the guy's trying. I just don't think he's got it anymore. Sadly, I just don't think he's got it. And the Premier League is so fast; it's just too quick for him.
Yeah, it's a shame because you would have thought Philip Coutinho would walk back in the Premier League and absolutely dominate the league and dominate, for the team as well. And I think he's been quite found out, I'm afraid, you know what I mean? But on his day, he's a brilliant player. But I mean, I watched him sort of thing. I'm not sure if it's quite the same player, but if he did play, I don't I'd be worried about him, to be fair.
Yeah, it was actually, John, that when he first came last year, he played half a season. I think he got 8 goals, 10 assists, and we thought, we've absolutely stolen this guy here. With the World Cup approaching, he knows he has to play to get in the Brazil squad, let alone the Brazil team, a full pre-season. You thought he's going to come out and he's going to be $1 million. And he was he was so flat and so far off the pace. And the frustrating thing, I guess, for someone like for the squad was we've got a similar type of player in Emi Buendia who, whenever he came off the bench, looked a really good player, and he just wouldn't give him a start. And then he gives him a start away at Arsenal, who were flying at the time, and then he's back out the team. Whereas Coutinho seemed to get 3, 4, 5 starts, and Buendia would. You're in against Manchester City, you're in against Arsenal, and then you're out. So be interesting to see if he plays him on Saturday. I hope he does, because I think for us to have any chance on Saturday, we've got to be brave and come and have a go. We can't just sit back, because you'll score Saturday, 100%. We've got to come and have a go.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to. I think I'll look at the team. I'm going to give it a team in a bit as well. Our predicted lineup as well. And let's go through the comments as well. All right, Coffee is a regular on me in the chat. Will ASMB back? I hope he is, but we found out from Eddie Howe tomorrow. That'd be one of the questions going to be asked. Gerard's lack of experience was a problem. Eddie Howe was always a better bet as a manager. I have to agree. His co-host is Tony. Yep. Tony, good evening to you, mate, and welcome, mate.
Hi, John. You all right?
John,
you all right?
How are you?
Hi, Tony.
Yeah, not too bad. Hi, mate. You all right? Not too bad, mate.
Good stuff, good stuff. We was just chatting about Villa's season so far, and Tony, and obviously Simon it's a bit half in my opinion as well. We talked about Coutinho, we talked about the strikers, talked about Stevie G. I want to talk about your take on the problems at Aston Villa. What's Villa's problem this season?
Well, from an outsider looking in, we look at Villa and you see that they've struggled this season. And you kind of think, why have they struggled? Because you signed Boubacar Kamara, you signed Coutinho, you've got your strikers, you've got Ings. But to me, if I look at it, I think the past few games where you haven't been doing well, I think the players haven't wanted to play for Gerrard, and maybe some players aren't happy with the way his style is and set up. So maybe they've just said, we're not going to play this way. If we get bad results, he'll get gone, because it was funny how he went and then they go out and beat Brentford 4-0 on Sunday. Although, according to Ivan Toney, Brentford played like children. So, I tend to see that part of it. But no, they've obviously had a bad season, and obviously Aaron Danks will probably still be the manager at the weekend, because they've got to wait for the work permit for Emery. And I just think they just haven't had the best of starts to the season. Where they'll end up at the end of the season, I'm not really sure. To be fair, John, I couldn't really say, but it all depends how well Emery does there. That's the thing, because his track record's not great at Arsenal, and it wasn't really great at PSG, although this guy has won trophies, and he's good in European competitions, as we know. He beat Man United, didn't he, with Villarreal? So, albeit on penalties, but still, you still got to put the ball in the back of the net to win a penalty shootout. So, the guy has got a winning mentality. But, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in the Premier League, Yeah.
We go through the comments as well. We go back to Naomi as well. John, that big up to ADG. Even though you've got a holiday glory, I have indeed, and I do miss Turkey. I could do another week there, by the way, but hey ho. And try next year, but I think the price is going to be extraordinary next year. Even to Matty Mags and Foggy and Tony, great to have you on. I can see the new manager turned fit team around. We'll comment on in a bit. John had smoke blown up his backside and was injured. I couldn't cut in the Prem. It should go manage in League Two, do well there. I don't think go to League Two, Mansell. Championship, maybes. And we'll continue to say fella now Gerard's gone. I think we touched on that. I don't know if he's going to stay, but I think it does look good, Foggy, for Coutinho. Foggy. Sorry, you'll come on to him in a bit. He's having problems with his internet as well. You thought mine was bad. Foggy. Yeah. Nah, he's frozen. We're getting back on. Nah, he's still gone. We go for the comments.
I'm struggling with Wi-Fi.
I heard called you there. Nah, I think he's frozen, mate. Do apologise. Big up to Brian. Hope you okay, mate. And there's the link to you should become a member. Then click on that. Links on top of the chat as well. All close up injuries. Newcastle at Kraft, Shelby, Gamash, ASM, Isaac, all out at the same time for a while. And let's hope Brentford made Villa. Let's hope Brentford made Villa look good. But every game is a banana skin for every club in the Premier League. Tony, that comment there from Anna, I think he's right there because look, I know to beat Brentford, cool. But at the end of the day, Brentford are very poor away from home. We all talk, they do see lots of goals. And, you know, Brentford are not Newcastle United. We are a different team. And a lot of teams will all come unstuck.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Brentford are poor away from home, John. But you know, at the end of the day, you've got to go out and win these games. So if we've got to go out on Saturday with the intentions of beating Aston Villa, whether we beat them 1-2, 3, or whatever, 0, or 3-1 or whatever. But we've got to go out there and win this. We've got to look at these games and target these games and say, right, this is a game we need to win. You know, every game we need to win, really. We're going in with that mentality now that we can win any game. And that's a great mentality to have because winning breeds confidence, and the confidence in that team now is sky high.
Okay.
You know, and I saw a Talk Sport thing with Jim White, and obviously he had obviously got Simon Jordan with him, and he had Graham Souness on, and Graham Souness even said, he says, I've never seen a team go to Liverpool and take the game to them like Newcastle did. He says Newcastle took the game to Liverpool, and Liverpool were frightened of that. They didn't know what to do. So he said, so Graham Souness said, technically, if you look at it, you know, Newcastle were brave taking that game to Liverpool, but it worked. He says they were unlucky to lose that game. He says it should have been a draw at the end of the day. But yeah, we don't go out there with any fear now, John. And like I say, winning breeds confidence. And I mean, Tottenham, you know, they saw exactly what we're like, and they couldn't deal with us. So I think any team in the Premier League is going to find it a struggle against us. And, you know, I'll ask Froggy the question, but do you think, as a Villa fan, I mean, I know some of your fan base are a bit funny towards us with our ownership and things like that, but from a footballing side, are you concerned about facing us on Saturday? Do you think we're a different animal compared to last? Do you think, because I've always said this, we are a totally different animal from last season. We are a different team altogether now. And people laughed. Some of your fan base laughed at us when Eddie Howe came in as manager. They all said, oh, well, he got Brentford relegated. Norwich fans were the same. They were laughing at us. And but when you look at it, Howe's seen off Dean Smith back to the Championship, and Howe's now seen off Gerrard. And Howe's making it look like he is actually capable of cutting it in the top flight with a bigger club as well.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, we'd be foolish not to be concerned about Saturday. I think if Gerrard was still in charge, it would be a matter of how many. And I don't think we're talking ones and twos here. I think we'd be talking 4 or 5. But it'd be interesting to see how they can they put another performance in like they did on Sunday. The main difference that we saw on Sunday was that their pressing all over the pitch was completely different. I haven't seen them press like that for a season and a half, particularly under Gerrard. Stats don't lie. We cover the second least amount of distance. We win the second least amount of tackles. And then on Sunday, we won every second ball. We gave the ball. We played with pace. We played Bailey wide. We played Ings as a 9, which is where he plays. We played Watkins wide. He can run all day. We got Dendoncker in, who allows Louise to come forward a little bit further. We looked like a proper side Sunday. Now, that's only one game. It's difficult to say, well, did we get Brentford on a really, really bad day? And it's feasible that it was. But this is the real acid test. And I think, like you were saying when you went to Liverpool, we're not going to win this game by sitting back and trying to catch you on the break. we've got to be brave here, and we've got to come and have a little bit of a go. And maybe the first 10, 15 minutes, we've got to make sure that we don't do anything silly and perhaps don't give a goal away and let your crowd get up. But it can be, I know you've got a good home support, but any home support does get frustrated when you're in a game. Let's be honest, you're fully expecting to win this game on Saturday. If we can get you to half time at 0-0, then the crowd might be getting a little bit restless. I don't expect us to get anything on Saturday because you're in unbelievable form. You're playing really well. Your players are playing with lots of confidence. But there's nothing to lose for us. But we do have good players. That's the one thing that I do look at. We do have good players, and where you like to attack, we do have players that can hit you on the break. My concern is whether we can deal with your wide areas and whether we can stop the ball getting into Wilson. I still think it's quite amazing when they talk about, are we going to take this player to the World Cup? We're going to take this player to the World Cup. Tony's come around and he's played well for maybe a season tops. For me, the second bloke on the team sheet for England going to the World Cup, if it wasn't going to have Kane, would be Callum Wilson. If you give him a chance, he scores. And it's only, and with respect to Newcastle, it's only his fitness issues that have stopped him being picked up by a big club, inverted commas. I think the guy's mustard, and when he's fit, he scores goals. He's done it everywhere he's gone.
Yeah, he does. He's, I mean, he is. He's Premier League proven. He's Premier League proven, isn't he, with Bournemouth?
He is.
And you know, I mean, Spurs wanted him before we got him, but the thing with Wilson is, I mean, yeah, like you say, if he stays fit, and I've said this to John as well before, if Wilson stays fit for a season, he bangs in 20 goals easily, without a shadow of a doubt. But it's keeping him fit. But the thing is, I know you are saying you might want to try and hit us on the break, but the problem is Spurs tried that, and what they found out was how quick our team get back. Our players on Sunday looked fitter than Spurs players did on Sunday. And considering we'd done the same as Spurs, played 3 games in a week, like everybody else has done, and we went out there against Spurs, and like I say, we looked fitter than Spurs did as well. And, you know, they got a shock, you know. And, I mean, we've got the best defence in the Premier League. You know, you've got to deal with, you know, Botman and Shah at the centre-half. You've got Trippier to deal with. You know all about Trippier. He scored the winner against his last season at St James's.
Yeah.
You know, so we're just playing well. We're full of confidence. And, you know, I think for any club there must be... You know, if that was a different team and we were facing a team like that, I'd be a bit like, whoa, hang on a minute, I'm not sure about this game, you know. But and I can see from your point of view that you're the same, and it'll probably be the same for Southampton. It'll be the same for Chelsea. You know that they'll come and it'll be a totally different game, because it's not just the pressing we do, but it's the intensity as well, and how much Eddie Howe. I mean, if you look how quick. Once the ball goes forward from defence to midfield, how quick everybody floods forward, even the defenders flood forward as well. And, you know, I mean, we were saying, well, it was a matter of time before somebody got a thrashing off us. But Fulham got it 4-1 after that Bournemouth game when we drew 1-1, which, you know, we shouldn't have really. And then, obviously, we give Brentford a good thrashing as well, 5-1. But yeah, it is hard for teams to stop that sort of thing. But you know,
but if I was a player, sorry to interrupt. If I was a professional footballer now, I would be thinking we're going up to what will be a packed St James's Park. There is no expectation on us to win. Let's have a look around the dressing room. Have we got good players in the dressing room? Yes, we have. Were we comfortably the better side against Chelsea the other week? Yes, we were. The keeper had an unbelievable game, hit the post twice, the bar, and things could have been different. And then we put in a performance against Fulham that was unrecognisable. And then we're back to being really strong again against Brentford. But these are the games where if I was a player, you think, right, we need to show a little bit of backbone, a little bit of steel here. There's nothing, if we lose 2-0, no one will bat an eyelid because I think Newcastle should win the game. let's go and show what you can do now. If we lose, we lose. But you guys earlier in the season, you were brave enough to have a go at Manchester City, and that's where I think on Saturday we've got to be. We can't go gung ho and stand in the middle of the ring and have a slugfest with you. But I think we've got to try and attack you. Our strength is in our attacking players. Bizarrely enough, given that we haven't scored goals, but if you create chances for Danny Ings like Wilson, he'll score goals. The problem is Gerrard's never played him as a 9, and we never played with any width. So all we were doing is putting straight balls into the box for Danny Ings to try and compete against people like Zuma at West Ham, and he's never going to win those type of balls. Botman looks an amazing signing. Has the other centre half increased or improved that much in such a small period of time, or is he just playing alongside two really good players in Trippier and Botman? We've got to be looking towards getting Ings to put onto Schleier and see if we can get some joy there. But look, we know this is going to be a really, really difficult game, but I don't think we haven't got anything to lose in this.
Yeah, that's confidence there, mate, and just you know what it is, right? I mean, look, you just said there that you got to give it a go. I mean, yeah, you have to give it a go, try to give it a go, but our defence this season has been fantastic. It really has, and we don't normally see that Newcastle boast a good defence, but this season would be absolutely magnificent. I mean, you go on social media, people are saying about Nick Pope wasting time, having a go for wasting time. But guess what? He's a damn good goalkeeper, right? He's been beaten, 10 times? We only lost once this season. He's been a major part of our season.
Yeah.
We call the back 5 because you got Pope and Go, and you got Trippier, you got Dan Burn, and then in the centre half, you got Botman's been amazing this season.
Yeah.
And Fabian Schär, I tell you what, he is best. He's played his best football of his career. And I tell you what, the Swiss international, I mean, he's beginning to be a fan favourite. Am I right in saying that? Fabian Schär, a fan favourite?
Yes, absolutely, John. I mean, we're signing for £3 million because we met the release clause when they got relegated. The team we played for, in Spain, so we actually met the £3 million release clause. Now he's been good under Rafa. Under Steve Bruce, he didn't really get much of a goal, but since he come back in for Eddie Howe, he's never let Eddie Howe down. And I mean, he played a lot. He played a big part in our season of staying up. We turned around that not winning in 14 games to actually staying up, but not just staying up by a little margin, but staying up comfortably. We finished 11th place, and I don't think there'll be another team who'll do that. They'll go through without winning in 14 games and then absolutely staying up, because I think, some things like that are a one-off. But I mean, Schär, he is a great defender, really is, and if you give him space like Forrest did, he'll hurt you, because look at that goal he scored against Forest. I don't know if you've seen it, but that goal against Forest. Now, if you watch that goal against Forest and watch the one against Burnley back in 2019 when he scored under Rafa, you'll see they're both exactly the same goal, exactly the same spot he hits them and everything. The one goes past Pope in 2019 and the one past Henderson in 2022. And that guy has got a shot on him, and if he hits it, it stays hit. And if he gets in that position where he can arrow that in, no keeper will stand a chance. Not even the world's best keeper would stand a chance. And as you said, for us, we went toe-to-toe with Man City, and we were lucky to get a 3-3 draw. We probably should have won that game overall.
Yeah, you played really well.
But I've always said, I think any other team that goes toe-to-toe like that with Man City will get absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah, well, I hope I'm proven wrong on this, but I don't think Fabian Schleier is the guy that I'm most concerned with from an attacking perspective. I think you've got people that are more likely to hurt us than that. So cute an 89th minute winner from Fabian Schleier now on Saturday, but I think you've got so many good attacking players, but the one guy who's really stood out for me this year has been Dan Burn. I just you look at him. What is he, 6'5", 6'6"? He drops in at left back and he looks comfortable on the ball. I've been really surprised he hasn't had an opportunity with England. When you look at how good we are or not, as the case may be, as centre half, they keep going back to the same old people over and over again. I think if Byrne plays for Tottenham, he's in the England side over Dyer all day long. Clearly, Wilson we've spoken about him. Bruno, well, the man's just quality, isn't he? He's just a quality player. And the turnaround in Joe Linton, where he's gone from almost like a bit of a national joke to he's completely reinvented himself now, and he looks a real powerful sort of number 8 that can play wide of the front three or as a mid. And he's completely reinvented himself.
He has indeed. I mean, look, I've said many a time, people are asking, should you be playing in the World Cup? Not this year, you won't, because Brazil is technically named their 23. But next season in the Copa America, I think he may get a place there. And I hope Joe Linton gets it. He's still young. He's 25, coming on 26, yeah? And he's played in Europe for quite a long time. If he gets in Europe, if he gets into the Copa America and he performs, then I think he could go to the next World Cup by the time he'll be 29. But there's going to be better and younger players going to come through the ropes as well. But if he gets the first cap for the Brazilian national team, he'll be amazing. I'll be pleased for him. Like you said, he's been a national joke into one of the best box-to-box midfielder in the Premier League. And I'll tell you what, he started to play it like a £40 million player. He has started to show us this guy is brilliant. And he's also he's been putting some efforts in as well, chasing back, tracking back. You know, that guy is brilliant. He really is. He has improved.
And you know what, John? That's it's pleasing to see from. And obviously, I'm not a Newcastle fan, but it's pleasing to see a guy that's gone through a real tough time come over. Yeah. I mean, it must be very difficult coming over and being a £40 million striker and playing under Steve Bruce anyway. I mean, Christ, he could ruin anyone. But Joe Linton came over and had a really tough time in a foreign country. It would have been easy for him to disappear and go to Spain, Portugal, or somewhere like that. But he's got his head down. He's worked hard. He's found another position. Whereas a lot of the players, they just sulk and. You know, credit to him on that. Credit to him. And he looks like the type of guy that you're 3-0 up or you're 3-0 down, and he's still chasing back in the 89th minute. And the fans will go for that all day long. And that's where I think Gerrard lost the dressing room with us, and he never had the fans really this season. If I look at some of the managers, you know, Eddie Howe, and even the guy at Leeds. Some of the things that they do, they're always coming over to see the fans, win, lose, or draw at the end. Gerrard's been up to see and applaud the Villa fans twice this season, both of his victories. And when we went a goal down, which was often many games, he just went and sat back on his seat and got the set piece coach to come out and bark out the instructions. Now you can't have that as a leader. And I think a lot of people lost respect for him in that way, in the same way that the way he handled the captaincy issue, I think that was poor, really, really poor man management. Whether or not he believes Mings should be captain or not, that's his choice. But to almost publicly air it, and it's going to be done this way, and he lost the dressing room, and he lost a lot of the fans there.
I tell you what, that's why he had to go. It's as simple as that. I mean, that's Paul's show. I don't know how true it is. I mean, me and Tony discussed. We go for the comments because we're going to come on to that face up to as well. Big up to Mike Mag, even Tony, and Newsmig is getting a new contract and he is staying. Spot on, Tony, Shafir, no one, even to Leslie, even to Gary, and his team note to PC9 knowing that could change. I hit ASM maybe on the bench Saturday. He isn't going to walk straight back into the starting 11, even though we want him to. We know what Eddie is like if we're getting results. That's rich, absolutely. Miggy scored 15 goals for us this season. I like coffee with a midfielder who hadn't slept in 2 days. Exactly. he could score 15 on Saturday.
He needs to go and spend some time with his wife and family this weekend, I think. He's a terrible father.
Exactly. Gerrard's coaching skills are not to the job. Villa have a better coach now in time. I think he will show on the pitch and results will follow. Howe has shown what coaching's all about. Absolutely, HG. 100%. Thank you. 100%. We need to dip in form and Villa play really, really well to have any chance of winning the game. Foxy! Brazilian, he's a South American expert, by the way, a great guy. Worst possible time to play Villa. Gerrard was in charge, got 3 points for us, but now after that 4-0 win and new manager Jim Press has a draw written all over it. But we're 4th and we need to win that game if you are to stay in the top 4. I just wish
more lemonade in your beer, I think. If you get the draw on Saturday, more lemonade in your beer.
Exactly. And I just wish Gerrard done the sat after they played us. That is the thing. Bruno was a bit tired against Tottenham. Now he has he's going to be final on Sundays. I hope that's the case. Good evening, just home from work. Aston Davy. Big up to you, my guy. Hope you're okay, mate. So we're going to love it. How completely changed the Joelin profile. First time on the team sheet, and rightly so. Love the lad and deserves all the plum. I was wrong about him. Now I love the guy. It's like John Pablo Angel came to Villa and found everything pretty difficult at first, but left the club as a bit of a legend as well. You have to remember Gerrard had another right. I know what you mean, Davey. And I'm surprised Villa did not go in for Boost instead of Dick Emery. Talking about Emery, what do you think of that appointment of Unai Emery?
Well, I think realistically that's got to be the best that we've had a chance of getting. We're never getting Pochettino, Tuchel, we're never getting those. There was a big push locally in the local press for Michael Beale from QPR, but a bit like players, really. The coaches become exceptionally good coaches when they leave the club. People forget that he was the first team coach for the last 11 games of last season where we won 1. Michael Beale's doing it the right way. He's going into the Championship, learning his trade like Eddie Howe did, not like Gerrard did. He needed to go and do that. We're really pleased with it. Really pleased with it. Yeah, he's more of a cut manager if you look at the stats and things such as that. But interestingly, in his first full season at Arsenal, he comfortably outpointed or outscored Arsene Wenger in his last full year. And that's good enough for me. They finished 5th, Arsenal did. And I think we all know Arsenal were on the dip then. So he's coming in with a point to prove. He'll get money in January. He'll get money in the summer. And I think he'll quickly get rid of some of those players that have been there for a while that got Smith the sack and Gerrard the sack.
Yeah.
So please.
Wow. Yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean there, but hey ho. But good luck to Unai Emery as well after we beat you as well. Just a quick on Sky Sports for Bruno Gamache, right? He's been linked with Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid, yeah, and he's come out and he's that it's only my first full season in Newcastle. There's a long way to go. I love playing here. I love the bond with the fans, and I want to become a legend here. The rest, I leave my agent. I've had 3 good years of the contract left is so long. I swear I'm not thinking about other things. My focus now is just on Newcastle and the World Cup. Tony, do you think that is a player that wants to stay in Newcastle United?
Absolutely, John. I mean that player doesn't want to leave at all, and you can see exactly why he's coming out with statements like that. I mean, why does he have to keep coming out and saying, "Look, I'm staying"? Because the media are blowing this up that he wants that clubs are looking at him. Other clubs couldn't afford him. That's the problem, John. And it looks like we're going to give him an improved contract, which I think he will get, and that will be brilliant. But the thing is, though, he deserves an improved contract, in my opinion, because he has played so well, and he is one of the best. He's a great player, and you can see it. And yeah, other clubs can look, but they can't have him. That's the simple fact. And I think also here, he's got that connection with the fans. If he went to Real Madrid, you don't really have a connection with the fans there. Not as special as you would being at like Newcastle. And because obviously at Real Madrid, it wouldn't just be about Bruno. It'll be about Vinny Jr., Courtois and all them that they've got there. And you see, so at the end of the day, they focus on the team as a whole. But on the other side of it, at Newcastle, he knows he's got the love of the fans here, and he knows how much the fans mean to him. So there's no way that he's going to up sticks and go. And
why would he leave Newcastle? Why would you leave Newcastle? You've got your richest club in the world. He's settled in really, really nicely. There's the records or history tells you so many players that go to Barcelona, Real Madrid, and think the grass is greener and stuff like that. very rarely is. If I was a player now and you're playing at a club like Newcastle and you're loved and you're going to get a new contract, why leave now?
Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, the thing is, you know, you look at Newcastle and it's like, this is a team that's going to go places, a team that could go on and win trophies. You know, could win a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, a Premier League, maybe a Champions League. Who knows? Whatever. You know, you've got to be in it to win it. And if we're going to be this club on the up and getting trophies, why would you want to go elsewhere? You know, maybe say if it got to like 28, 29, maybe, and then said, oh, you know, another club comes in from, then maybe you think, yeah, okay, we can let him go because we can get somebody else in. But other than that, it's I don't think he'll be going anywhere. He's not for sale at any price, to be fair.
Definitely
they could
not.
offer 300 million, and I would just say, if I was the owners, I would say no. And the owners have already said we are not a selling club. So people need to realise that now, and these club owners need to realise we are not a selling club. We don't need to sell.
I tell you what, we could have Bruno, right? But we take Vinicius Junior and Valverde as well. Do you agree? And then that's still not be good enough for us, yeah? Tell you what, we just buy Vinicius Junior straight away. No problems at all. I love having in Newcastle, by the way. He is brilliant. Let's go for the comments as well. Great. Well said, by the way, Toon, and you're on mute as well, by the way. Just going, great working in Europe. Yes, Alan, great. Oh, you blocked me. No, I haven't blocked you at all, mate. It's just you're going to be on to the next 20, 25 minutes or so. The next time I get you on, mate, take every halftime team talk to the fair players. You were awful. Coming on. I was always fine. No, you won't. But next time I get you on, mate. The good news, he won't be in the hot seat for Saturday's game. He'll get 200k a week. Big up to Goat Father. Big up to me, Tony Foggy. Historically, great players don't make good managers. I've never understood that. That is very true. And Stevie G is the one that's going to be fighting those costs. And Ryan, I reckon Trips, Jordan, and Bruno will all get new contracts soon. I can only hope, anyways. I think there's going to be a possibility. I hope they do. And message me the link. I'll do another time in here because we're well into the middle of the show, mate. Yeah. And Foggy, Bruno's there, not for sale. Foggy, I really enjoy your knowledgeable inputs. That's from Alan.
Thank you.
There from Al. Even if I'm willing to let Bruno go, we'll just add the Newcastle tax to £1 billion. Yes, the billion. And the rest as well. You know, we all talk numbers. We're talking numbers, yeah. We're talking a couple of deals at the end of it, but honestly, it's not going anywhere soon. Right. I mean, for me, I also did get the combined 11 board as well, which I can't get up as well. But what we're going to do your predicted team lineup is going to play for Saturday. We reckon it's going to be Martinez and goal, and it's going to be Cash, Konsa, Mings, Young, and the back four. He's going to play two holding midfields, Dundonga, and Luis has got his red card rescinded. And then the attacking three would be Watkins, Buendia, Leon Bailey, and Danny Ings up top. Do you think your standard manager would play at a 4-2-3-1, and would you go with that team?
Yeah, I think after Sunday, you have to go that way. If you're going to play, I don't see what else you can play really. The only slight change he might look at, he might play Ramsey possibly over Bailey or Buendia just for pure legs, but I think we've just got to be. I think we've got to be brave, and I think one of your comments or one of your commenters mentioned earlier about you've got to reward good performances, and Luca Dean is fit, so he'll be on the bench on Saturday. He can't come in over Ashley Young. Ashley Young's been absolutely amazing this year. When players play well, they stay in the team. That's where Gerrard got it wrong. I love John McGinn. He's a brilliant player, but he's just horrendously out of form. But he just kept picking him. So, yeah, I think that'll be our 11.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised.
Excellent. And Tony, we're going for a 4-3-3 formation. Mick Pope and goal, and then the back four is going to be the same. It's Trippier, Cher, Botman, and Burn. It looks like a back three, but it's not. It's a four. Because Dan Burn is going to play left back for us as well. I just kind of see Matt getting back in the team. Matt Target, former Villa. The midfield three will be Willock, Bruno, and Longstaff. And then the front three will be Joe Linton, Miggy, and Callum Wilson on top. And if you look at that team, Tony, that's squad could be good enough to win this again.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And you know, if ESM is fit for any week, if ESM is fit, and maybe, you know, he could be on the bench, and if he's needed to come off the bench and, you know, help us out, then we'll bring him on. Don't forget we got Shelby back on the bench as well, so there's another added problem for Villa as well. But he's not back to full fitness yet. But you know, that team's good enough to win on Saturday, and we've got people in reserve who can come on and help out the team. So we're getting a little bit. What will I say? We're getting a little bit of like strength and depth, if you know what I mean, John. But we still need a lot more strength and depth.
We do.
But that will come eventually, though. But that team on Saturday is good enough to go out there and get a positive result against Aston Villa.
100%, man. And you know what? It's a damn burn as well, being a left back. A lot of people saying that he's not my left back, but at the end of the day, he's doing a decent job there. Because at the end of the day, he's doing the job, and you can't get any wrong with that. You got to trust Eddie what he does. I mean, I feel sorry for Matt Targett, and that's the thing. But at the end of the day, right, he's not kicking up a fuss. He's not kicking off or anything like that. It's a team game, right? We don't have let any people down us having a go. It's a good feel factor at the football club. It's great, and that's why we're top 4, because we love this team. We love this team.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see how long Matt Targett is happy sat on the bench. Yeah, he threw his toys out at Villa when he didn't want to fight for his place, and he left with a bit of a sour taste to the Villa supporters. Really, that he did well for us, but he wasn't willing to even try and fight for his place. And now he's lost his place. He's in the same boat, really.
Yeah, I was just going to come on to him Froggy, and just say to you, what were your thoughts on Matt Targett there? Because I mean, he was a good defender for you. I mean, he got player of the season as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. I've spoken to quite a few Newcastle fans about that I know about this. Matt Targett is a manager's dream. He's a 7 out of 10 every week. He'll very rarely give you a 6. He'll occasionally give you an 8. He'll never give you a 9, and that's why he's playing at the level that he is, i.e., with us at the time. But you know, when some of the guys were saying he can't get in your teams, well, he can. He played most of the games. We've just signed a new left back because we had no other left back at the club, and you need 2 people to play in each position. And he said, "No, I want to go. I want to leave because I need to play." I think, well, you haven't even tried. And as it happens, 2 weeks after he left, Dini had done his groin, and he would have played. So he left us on a bit of a sad note, really, which. I don't think he'd get grief or booed or anything such as that, but the expectation of the Villa supporters was that he could have at least tried to fight for his place, and he didn't. They almost wanted a guaranteed place, but 7 out of 10 every week, and was a good player and played well for us. Yeah,
absolutely. But if you just hang in there, and then you get his chance in the team very, very soon. So if you get probably bottom on the shot a 1-game ban, Danbo will slip into the back and then get Targett back in. So I think Matt Targett needs to be patient with us, to know what I mean. So we'll see what happens on Saturday when the team gets picked. 46 people watching live. Thanks so much indeed. Please hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button as well. And just keep going, because we challenge scoring every single day. So thank you for that. Gerard's a decent manager and just not a Premier League level manager. That is the thing. Gerard in a good team with Rangers, Servco, but it's still only a 2-team league compared to the Premier League. I don't think Rangers have him back in time soon anyway. Steve Bruce will be back at Villa soon. Been no chance. Van Little was a class for the player, legend of the club, and as a player, but as a manager, he just did not quite cut on, unfortunately, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. He has a question for Froggy, right? Now, I know you've got Emery in now as manager, so he's in. But when you sacked Gerrard, was there ever any thought between yourself and any of your Villa fan mates? Like, would you have took Sean Dyche as manager at the moment?
God, no. Because
he's Premier League proven and he's got the know-how how to stay in the division.
But if I turn that on its head, Tony, when you got rid of Bruce, would you have taken Dyche?
No.
Well,
Although saying, well, he wasn't available at the time, but there again, if we didn't have Eddie Howe and there was a way of trying to stay in the Premier League, then I think maybe Dyche might have been that man, because, you know, when you think he worked at Burnley under such a tight budget that, you know, and the quality of players they had, so they had to work with that budget of players and that pool of players they had. So I think in some sense he done quite well with Burnley. And
agreed.
You know, and a lot of people said when he was sacked the way he was, with a few games left, they said had they kept him, he would have Burnley would have still been in the Premier League now. But they just got rid because obviously of some alleged incident outside in a nightclub. But yeah, so but the guy is proven at Premier League level. But the thing is, though, he could have gone to Villa. But if Villa had took him on, he would have been then in a club where they've got a little bit more funds than what Burnley had. And he may well have done a better job at Villa than he probably even done at Burnley, because, like I say, he had to work on tight budgets and tight money there. You know, but
I think I get where you're coming from. If it was a case of the squad, I mean, our frustrations this year have been some with Gerrard and some with the players, that we're not a top six side or anything such as that. We're nowhere near that. But that squad of players, in my view, should be in the top half. I think with that squad of players, we should be around 10th. That's about our right position. There are sides better than us, but, you know, I'm not going to have it that Brentford, Brighton, I've got a better squad of players than that. But it's about the team getting results. And that's where I don't think we should be looking at relegation with those players, because we can go out and win games. And I think Emery was the type of guy who he's got something to prove in the Premier League. He's a proven winner elsewhere. I think he was the best candidate really that we could get at this moment in time. I just think Dyche was not for me. Not for me.
Yeah. No, it was just a thing. I thought I'd just ask you that one, because obviously before you got Emery, there was that, you know. But
I'd have taken Eddie Howe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bet you would now. But, yeah, but last season there was a lot of things going around that our Villa fans were like, oh, well, you know, why have they signed Eddie Howe as manager? And even Martin Samuel, you know, from the Mail, he clearly said Newcastle missed a trick here because they took Eddie Howe on when they could have had Gerrard. Well, sorry, no, we haven't missed a trick.
Yeah, that aged well, doesn't it?
Yeah, because obviously you probably don't know the story behind it, but when we were in for Unai Emery, and we were very close to him, it was Amanda Staveley and Jamie Rubin who both wanted Emery. But PIF didn't want Emery. They wanted Eddie Howe.
Right.
But Amanda and Jamie said, no, you've got to go for Emery. He's the better manager. Emery's the one you want. He's got this trophy-laden, you know. So PIF said, well, no, we want Eddie Howe. So both had been interviewed. And Eddie Howe said in an interview on a press conference recently, and he just said, I'll not say the word, but he says, I was sitting at home because I thought, well, I ain't getting that job now at Newcastle, he says, because it's now going to go to Unai Emery. He says, and then they played a Champions League game, Villarreal, and then it came out after that game, he says that Emery was staying and he'd signed a new deal with Villarreal. And Eddie Howe says, I just sat at home and thought, F, what do I do now? Because I'm going to have to start thinking, I'm going to be in there now at the club because they're going to ask me to come in now. And that was the case. And I can understand that, you see. And but you look at like PIF, who have got so much money, who are a major shareholder at the club, 80%, and who have got so much capital and money, and you think, you know, and they were looking at Eddie Howe, so it shows you how, you know, clever they really were. And,
but isn't it great to see?
But you don't just get Eddie Howe; you get his whole coaching team. You get Jason Tyndall.
Yeah, but you know, he he did a really, really good job at Bournemouth. Took them all the way through, learned from his mistakes, went to Burnley, didn't work out for him there, came back and did a great job. And I didn't see it as a failure for him when he took Bournemouth down, because if you've been to their stadium, just down the road from us, it's a smaller ground than Warsaw's ground. It's like a non-league ground. They don't even own it. They can't be paying high wages. They lose their best players, and you think, that's got a shelf life. You can't stay in the league for that long. So I think if Howe would have left Bournemouth, I think they'd have gone years before, even if they wouldn't have come back up. And I'm really, really pleased for Eddie Howe. I think it's great to get a young English manager getting the chance at a club where they've now got lots of money. And it would have been very easy to go and get rid of Eddie Howe and get a foreign manager, which seems to be the trend of doing things. What Howe's done unbelievably well is he hasn't gone out and targeted world superstars and the Galacticos, because you've got to have a team, and I think the Real Madrid team proved that. But he's gone and got your targets. He's got Burn playing. He's helped get him coaching Joe Linton to become a better player and things such as that. He brought Wilson in, and he's building your team up, which is the right way of doing it, because you could fall down the pitfall the way Man City have gone, where they're like a plastic club, the way Chelsea did it as well. They just throw money at it. You guys are doing it the right way. You go, even Bruno, what was Bruno, 40 million?
40 million, yeah. Just under 40 million quid.
36, yeah.
36 with 40 on top.
Well, that's still a lot of dough, right? Particularly to us three. But, in years to come, Newcastle are going to have to pay a lot more than that, because you're going to be paying the Newcastle tax on your transfers, aren't you? And that's sadly the way that it's going to go. But I'm really pleased that Howe's doing a good job. I hope he has an absolute disaster on Saturday. He's going to need to for us to have half a chance. But I think it's brilliant that he's doing a great job. And he seems on the outset to be just a good bloke as well.
Brilliant stuff.
And he's
absolutely.
And I said to John the other day, I said, I look at Eddie Howe now, and he's sort of got a bit of swagger about him now. Not arrogance, but a swagger. And he's seen a little bit of Jose Mourinho side of him, because he was asked by the Sky Sports commentator, like the reporter, well, yeah, you're in the fourth place, but obviously it's the money you've spent. And Eddie Howe went, no, it's not just down to money. He says, a lot of these players were at this club regardless, who've played in this team today. So he says, it's not down to money. And he's right. The thing is, he keeps getting asked this, like, well, we're spending money. But yeah, we spend the money, but we spend 12 million on Dan Burn, which is an absolute steal when you see how good he's played. We paid 35 million for Botman. And the lad's only 22, and he's only going to get better. 36 for Bruno. I mean, what? Don't have to see any more, because you can see how he plays. And and
Pope was a steal
for Target.
Pope was a steal.
Yeah, 10 million. Yeah.
Absolute steal.
And the thing is, like I said, now, obviously you're Villa fan, but you're probably an England fan as well. Now, a lot of England fans give Pope a slating after that goal against Germany that he spilt, right? So that's fair enough to give him a slating. But the way they went on saying that he doesn't deserve to be in the England team, well, like I've said to John before, and I've said to other people as well, if you look at where Pope plays, right? So he's playing behind Botman, Cher, Trippier, and Burn. And you've got a solid back four who he knows and he can trust in front of him. Now, when he's playing an England team behind Maguire, you can see why he's nervous, because you've got somebody like Maguire in front of you and Kyle Walker, who, I'm not being funny, they're not good enough to be in the England team. And you've got them in front of you who make mistakes. And to have a great keeper, you've got to have a great defence. If your defence in front of you is a bit shaky, your keeper's shaky as well.
Correct.
It's strange, actually. I've only ever seen Pope made one mistake. That was in that game. Whenever he's played at Villa Park or even at Turf Moor for Burnley against us, he just seems to have worldies against us all the time. And he's still a young enough guy. What, you pay 10 million for him? Keepers can go for. You could have him for 10 years.
I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of Premier League teams missed out there, because obviously we nipped in to get him. And I know people look at us because we're paying a lot. I mean, we're even paying for Pope in installments, believe it or not. But that's because. But the reason we're doing it is so we can extend and buy players during the financial fair play. You see, that's why we're doing it, so we can bridge that gap, because we make Ashley, although yes, he kept the club sort of debt free, but the problem with him was he was buying players up front and just saying, like, so if you bought Joe Linton for 40 million, he handed the whole 40 million over instead of saying, "Oh, we'll do it in installments." So that's how our FFP got a bit mixed up, you know. But if you pay by installments, it makes it cheaper then as well, because like we're paying like 3 installments of 3 million for Pope a year. But when you think of it, 3 million over a year, that's not even going to touch your FFP.
That's very true. That's very true. But yeah, again, guys, you're going to see your answers on that. But very interesting conversations too. Hope you sign Trossard in January. I love time in Newcastle, by the way. Again, you guys, Tottenham Tigers on the sideline giving advice. Imagine Villa by Diego Carlos thinking they're bigger than us and he's out for the whole season. Look, I don't wish anything bad on him. I hope he gets better very, very soon. I really
He's a nice guy, isn't he? That's the second nice comment he's put in there.
Yeah.
He's having a bad day, that boy is.
Well, it's each to their own there. Each to their own. Maybe it's down to the coaching as well. Maybe Diego Carlos could be awesome to Howe compared to Gerrard. Could well be. My bad. I made a mistake. Got mixed up with the names. Apologies. That's fine. If you have both Botman and Carlos at the same time, that's practically a brick wall. Yes, exactly. But they'll get relegated. Emery not used to relegation dogfight. Enrique, that's Luis Enrique, by the way. They have no ambition. Villa will be a different team with Emery. As an Arsenal fan, I believe he was given a chance to build that team. And you go now, Tony, are you, mate?
Yeah, because I got to get ready for my show for 8 o'clock, John.
No, that's
sorry,
fine.
It's been a show.
Nice to meet you, Tony.
Nice to meet you too.
Before I let you go, Tony, just quickly, will you go against the score prediction, please, for Saturday?
I've gone 3-0 for us, John.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks, Tony, for coming on, mate. And good luck on your show. And Andy, I'll be watching later on. And thanks for coming in.
See you,
jump
Tony.
on if you want, John. Jump on. The link will be in the chat. Jump on.
Yeah, no problem. I will do. If I get a chance, I will do. And, you know, if I don't, I'll definitely watch him my guy because I've got to be up for 5, but I will try my best to come on, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah.
But bloody good luck. I'll try and come on.
Okay, mate. Thank you very much, John. Thank you. See you later.
See you later.
Take care.
We're going to get this. Thanks for joining me, co-host, coming on, and we're going to wrap up these comments as well because there's quite a few as well. Before you get your score predictions as well, there's quite a few. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. I much appreciate that. Do follow Froggy Simon on the social media. And yes, I read that for you, John. Emery's to text that again. Coutinho had the chance to come to us. I bet you guessed the decision now, but I don't think it's the same player he was. Emery was not given a chance. Yes. I think he's got unfinished business in the Premier League. They could get Phil in the mid-team of the team and the players he's got, as well as a transfer nearby. Howe's got a year at Atletico too. Diego Simeone. We have Botman literally the best back this season. No one's getting past him exactly. Emery's been an appointment. Just look at Villarreal tonight without him, as Emery has had experience given through the division, going to the divisions with promotions or relegation battles with Lorca and Almeria as well. He is a talented manager, by the way. It'll be a battle to 5 at Emery as Newcastle has great momentum. We want to challenge for the top 4. If we beat Villa Saturday and Chelsea, we are in the top 4. Mix and maybes, tight contenders, imagine. You never know. Look to see Newcastle being tight contenders, but I doubt it very much. Managers need to constantly learn, adapt, and grow as football changes over the years, or risk being labelled as a dinosaur. Fair point. Eddie is one of the best managers to lead the season. I think he's the best young manager Englishman in the country. As a Guna, I can see Newcastle challenging for the title. They're more likely to go to beat Chelsea than anyone else. Yeah, I hope that is the case. Our back that costs more than Maguire. I have to agree. If you're watching videos of last year, listen to the pundits, then it's going to take us 4 or 5 years, etc. Look at us now. Exactly. And also destroyed by PSV. PSV had 3 goals to stand, still won by 2 goals to 0. Could have been worse. Pope's best goalkeeper in the league, in England, number 1. Over the years, the Toon and Villa has been similar types of clubs. We play similar styles of football. Never slagged them never snagged them till Gerrard was trying to sign every player we were linked with. Seems it was his demise. Villa's getting relegated. Hate Villa, mate. And hope Diego Carlos recovers well from the injury. Poor for laughing at it exactly. Listen, at the end of the day, let's be real, right? He's a damn good defender. And also, I wish him all the best. And please, just give him some props for you. Don't think they'll get relegated. There are worse teams out there. That's some good. Trippier, one of the best players for the Toon. That's from John.
Agreed.
Ari, lads, hard game on Saturday. Will be tight, but hope for a 2-1 win. That's Roy. Big up Roy, by the way. Top guy. And 4-0 to Toon and 4-0 to Newcastle as well. And what's your prediction, mate? What's the score to be?
I said this earlier. I said if it would have been under Gerrard, I think 4 or 5 was on the cards. I'd probably go 3-1 Newcastle.
3-1 to Newcastle?
Yeah, I think 3-1 to Newcastle. If we can get an early goal and get in front, it wouldn't surprise me if we got something out of the game. But I think you're going to come at us. We've got to be really solid for the first 20 minutes or so and not concede and then try and get into the game. And we've got to play with the same intensity that we did on Sunday. If we don't, we'll get beaten badly. But, as I've said before, let's not get too excited, Newcastle. We're only sort of 10 or 11 games in. You're not winning the league yet. You're on the right footing. And all the pressure's on you. All the pressure's on Newcastle. You should fully expect to win this game. And we've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
And the question is, can we handle the pressure now in fourth in a minute? Saturday's game will tell us a lot, quite a lot. 4-0 to Newcastle for St. Allen. 3-0 from Chris. Brian's going for an entertaining 4-3 win. 2-0 to go further. But to find Newcastle, I think it'll be 3-1. Question for the Villa fan. One of my favourite Toon players played for Villa as well. How was Solano treated down the Villa?
They loved him. Loved him. We was gutted when you got him back. Absolutely gutted.
What was the marks out of 10 for his time at Villa?
Oh, Solano. He was playing in not a great team. A good 8.5. A good 8.5.
Wow. 8 out of 10 for Nobby Solano last time.
Yeah, he was very, very good.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we're going to wrap up there. Steve, Simon, sorry about that. And thanks so much for coming on. He's a great player, by the way. Great player. And we're wrap up there because it's going to be like an hour show. We've gone over an hour. Did you enjoy coming on my show today?
Yeah, it was great to meet you and Tony. It's always great to hear the other side of the fence, really, and get people's views on your club, isn't it? Because you talk to people from your own club and they're a little bit blinkered. I was listening to local radio tonight. I listened to 3 guys back to back, and they all said, "I think comfortable 2-0 win. Comfortable 2-0 win." Hang on a minute. We've got 1 point on our travels all season, and we've been to Forest and Bournemouth. Why are we going to get anything at Newcastle? Just be realistic about this. If we get something, great, but I don't think Saturday is going to shape our season.
Well, we can only wait and hope. I mean, sorry, mate, but we are going to win that game. I predicted 3-0 to Newcastle United. I do apologise, and I hope that
apologise.
We are going to win that game. We have to win that game. And if 2 unbeaten on that pitch, that will make it easier for us. I just don't aim at all. I do apologise. 14-0.
14-0.
Maybe rugby league. But I like him. Great show, John. Thanks to Froggy for his opinions. Well, guys, and also, where can you find you on your socials, please, mate?
I only sort of do Twitter. I do Facebook, but I'm too old for that sort of stuff now. The kids keep telling me. So Twitter is, Jesus, I don't know. It's at Froggatt Simon or at Simon Froggatt, one of the two. I haven't got it up at the moment. Let's just have a quick look.
Yeah,
I should really know that. Let's just have a quick look. Sorry, just trying to get it up. It's. He says, "Come on."
It's at.
I'm not having much luck with Wi-Fi.
Froggatt
That's it.
Simon.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
at Froggatt Simon.
Froggatt Simon. So capital F Froggatt, capital S Simon. So please get them followed as well, and hopefully you can come back on again for the return leg next season and later on in the year. And that
depends on the score. I may unfollow you on Sunday.
Oh no, we might even. I'm doing a match reaction as well, so you can come on and have your say, quick thoughts after you see it, sort of thing. So that'd be amazing because I'm at Newcastle on Saturday for the match, so I will be doing a stream. And on Friday I'll be traveling to Newcastle, and unfortunately I'm gonna have 2 days off on the stream, and unless I can get Tony to cover. So yeah, Alan, thanks, Alan. Thanks, I Like Coffee. And if you like the video, like what you see, give it a like, hit the subscribe button. If you like you see, then if you like super chats, then click on the $sign through the thanks option. And if you'd like to become a member, then it is 99p. So just click on that as well. Right, I Like Coffee. I get it, Andrew 7, Neil each half. That's the good. I think that could be a bit hard appeal for us, but you never know. We'll see what happens on Saturday by 10 to 5. Hopefully we get the 3 points and cement our 4th place as well. And if you can do that, and I believe you could do, that would be an amazing weekend for Newcastle United. And good luck to the rest of the season, mate. I really appreciate that. Thank you for Brian. And go to close the show. But thank you very much for the chat. And the final whistle, Ian, to you as well, mate. I appreciate that. And have a fantastic evening we'll decide to do. And until then, it's a goodbye and have a good weekend, Foggy.
See you, boys. Take care.